I'm live. Just wanted to capture this and close it out. I had a very vivid dream last night of a former flame. He was in the INFP. We were in my childhood apartment, and I lived there. And he was crashing my place because he needed a place to stay in. And I vividly remember him being shirtless and having two garbage bags of his stuff. And I was like, it was so vivid. It was so interesting. I think it's because his birthday is probably today. He was Pisces too. I don't talk to him though, but I find my mind very fascinating lately. Anyway, um, I found this yesterday. What are telltale signs you are dealing with an INFJ? Interest in psychology, especially MBTI or Enneagram. Strong sense of justice. Prefers quality over quantity in absolutely everything. Can seem naive and daydreaming to people who don't know them well, but are highly perceptive and insightful deep down. Highly creative and intelligent, tends to have above average IQ. I don't know that. I never tested myself. Speaks and writes using lots of metaphors and analogies. Yeah. Often uses symbols or pattern images as an aid in explaining things. Ta-da! Doesn't take things at face value, is always questioning and analyzing the meaning and reasons. So true. Analytical. Forgetful. Tendency to do things like walk into door frames and trip over stairs. Oh, well, I did that in December. Yeah. Not my finest moment, but I found comfort in that. Some people don't think I'm on drugs. I was klutzy since a child. Seems deep in thought a lot of the time, often does not have an interest in sports or exercise, with some exceptions. True of sports. Exercise? Ballet, yoga, resistance bands, uh, bicycle riding. Hates generalizations and trivial details, especially negative generalizations about groups of people. Is easily bored by small talk. That is so true. That is so true about me, at least. Resting, expressionless face, which can be misinterpreted as grumpy, sad, or even snobby. This is better. Full of contradictions, feels like they are hiding or masking part of their true self. Yes. Alternates between being very social and being very quiet. Very forgiving, but when badly hurt, will just block the person who hurt them completely from their life. This is the so called door slam. Has a seeming ability to rationalize emotional concepts and find an emotional message in rational concepts. Comes across as outwardly emotional and inwardly logical. Okay. Very, very shy at the start, but will speak up with intense passion and almost seem like an extrovert when you bring up a deeper topic, such as how the school system could be improved for different learners. True. Very persistent and decisive on their goals, but has an untidy, disorganized home workspace. Usually, when I'm depressed, I get messy, but I usually let the dishes pile up. But for the most part, organization is decluttering my mind. If I have too much clutter around me, it's distracting. Perfectionists are will rarely give up. You know, trying to let go of that. So I do these lives instead of editing. That 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 really triggered my perfectionism. Strongly values harmony. For example, in a school environment, will often help younger students find their way around and stand up to bullies. True. Uses a lot of emphatic and descriptive language. Their tone of voice will be intense and filled with emotion. Passion for both the arts and the sciences will often have a career that overlaps with these. Yeah, that's why I'm in IT project management. I used to be in HR, development, workforce development training. I used to be in automotive, manufacturing, and the sales. Oh, yeah. I've been doing this all along. I used to be in finance and IT. Wow. Okay. Has an intense stare with a slightly hypnotic effect. Hair and eyes appear to be different colors based on lighting and clothing. Okay. Has wide eyes. I don't think I do. A big smile, long fingers, slightly tense posture. These features are obviously not exclusive to INFJs, but many seem to have them. You can read more about identifying a personality visually here. I don't know. Usually has friendship with INFPs, ENFPs, INTPs, ENFJs, and EINTJs. As you can see, they get along much better with intuitive types than sensor types. Is most likely romantically attracted to ENTPs and vice versa. I don't know any ENTPs, but for the ones I've seen on the internet, they have not aroused me. Disrespecting of tradition and authority, always believes things can be changed for the better and sees chores as mundane. Yes. Which that can get me in trouble because if I always think things can be better, then they're never good enough. So that's gotten me into trouble. Tends to be freaked out by bodily process such as blood and finds the physical world overstimulating. Yeah, I stopped donating blood. And usually when I get a needle in, I can't look at it. I don't know why. Either undersensitive or highly sensitive to physical sensations. Yeah. Quite risk adverse and likes to plan things in advance. True. Hence project management. I try not to do that with my life, but yeah. I just like to consider people's time. Sorry, not sorry. Not going to be the one that drops by in your door unexpected. Um, has very refined, unconventional, and unique taste in everything, from clothes to music to food. Likes high quality things, but is minimalistic. Tends to enjoy traveling and exploring all the different cultures. Yep, been there, done that. Grew up in New York. All the cultures were there. Has high levels of empathy, tends to see the best in people, even people who don't really deserve it. Ooh. INFJs are often targeted by manipulative people who take advantage of their kindness. Mm. My aunt always said, where there's a giver, there's always a taker right around the corner. Very averse to any kind of violence, likely cannot watch horror movies or the news. Struggles to let go, especially of people they were close to, perhaps more than any other type. Well, that's true for me. Many are very passionate about the environment and nature, while often have obscure knowledge about species of lizards and whatnot. Has the ability to intuitively just know things and has trouble explaining why. Often explains this better in writing than in person. Yes, I've always been more effective in writing. Whew. That bell means my coffee is ready. Perhaps perceives everything as connected as part of an abstract pattern instead of a linear sequence. This is often too complex for sensor types to understand or comprehend. Has a very vivid imagination and vivid dreams, hence how I started this. Capture things in colorful images instead of in words may confuse imagination with reality because they are in touch with their subconscious. Like I mentioned, that dream, I saw him in my my apartment where I grew up in. He was in my living room. He was shirtless, and I saw two bags. It was just so vivid. It felt so real. And like I said, it was probably today's birthday, which I don't talk to him. Next. Will try to be polite to people and can sometimes hesitate to get straight to the point, as they do not wish to offend and will never be blunt unless really annoyed. And lastly, let me take this off. Hold on. The person who they will most dislike is someone who repeatedly complains about their own problems while at the same time making zero effort to fix said problems. So true. If someone has these traits, chances are they are an INFJ. I passed this on to my INTJ buddy, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I see a lot of that in you." Cheers.